Top 5 Best Ice Cream Maker. Number 5. Cuisinart ICE-100. Alongside its freezer bowl models, Cuisinart also has a compressor model that boasts impressive results. While more expensive than the other Cuisinart models, it has a much lower MSRP than similar compressor models. It makes a good, if soft, ice cream, though it takes a while to firm up. I loved not having to pre-plan for ice cream. You'll never have an oh shoot moment where you realize you didn't put the bowl in the freezer far enough in advance, and I enjoyed being able to eat the results immediately. That said, the keep cool function led to slightly inconsistent ice cream texture. And the berry froyo mix exploded out of the bowl and over the sides, leading to a difficult cleanup. There are a lot of little crevices to clean on this model, and it can't be tossed in the sink to soak. Pros: don't have to pre-freeze canister. Has a keep cool mode to keep ice cream cold. Very easy to use. Cons: very large. Difficult to clean. Takes an hour to make ice cream. Coming in number 4. Lello 4080. Muso are an Italian company that have been making ice cream machines since the 1960s. There are only 2 machines in my top tier and they're both made by Muso. The Lello 4080 Muso Lucino, also known as the Mini, is the smallest and has a 1.5 quart capacity. While the Lello 5030 Muso Pola, also known as the Stella, is a bit bigger with a 2 quart capacity. Other than their capacities, the 2 machines are pretty much the same. They both feature commercial level build quality and components. This includes a stainless steel housing, a powerful motor and compressor, and a metal dasher. You don't get any fancy control panels or programmable features. Just 2 buttons and a manual dial. The buttons turn the compressor and the motor on or off. And the dial sets the timer. Unlike most ice cream makers, there's no removable bowl with the Musos. The ice cream is churned in a depression in the body of the machine. This makes the freezing more efficient. And it also makes it easy to clean. So they're pretty simple. But the frozen desserts they make are incredible. These Muso machines are the only domestic appliances that can make the sort of ice cream you'd eat in a top quality restaurant. Probably because these are the machines they use in top quality restaurants. Seriously, the desserts these machines make really is a level above what you'll get from any other domestic machine. The only drawback to the Muso ice cream makers is the price. They are eye-wateringly expensive. For example, the Lello 4080 is the cheapest, but it's usually over 50% more expensive than the highest price, Tier 2 ice cream maker. Some people have suggested that while the Muso machines do make fantastic frozen desserts, they're not that much better than those from other domestic ice cream makers. So they don't justify the extra cost. I disagree entirely. For me, the Muso machines are on a totally different level in terms of quality. Every machine below them makes desserts that are more or less the same. From the Smart Scoop to the ICE-21, there's not a huge amount of difference. But when you taste the ice cream, sorbet, gelato, or frozen yogurt from a Muso machine, you know straight away that this is something else. It's commercial quality from a commercial quality machine, scaled down for domestic use. Coming in number 3. Whynter ICM-201SB. The Whynter made my single favorite batch of this testing series. It was objectively the best ice cream I've ever eaten. It tasted like the love child of whipped cream and vanilla gelato. I ended up shoving the remains of it into my mouth with my fingers because I couldn't get enough of it. Despite this batch of godly nectar, the Whynter was otherwise disappointing. The paddles stopped moving after I added the mix-ins for the rocky road, and I gave up on the berry froyo after an hour and a half of mixing produced nothing thicker than a smoothie. Even my favorite vanilla took an hour to make, which is longer than I really want to wait for ice cream, though I would wait for this one, particularly since the Whynter is another maker that doesn't require pre-freezing the canister. Pros: makes great tasting ice cream. Don't have to pre-freeze canister. Cons: takes over an hour to make ice cream. Paddles stopped moving after mix-ins were added. Coming in number 2. Breville BCI600XL. The wonderful thing about this ice cream maker was never having to worry about pre-freezing the canister. This meant I could make multiple batches in a row during the same evening. As well, it had a keep cool mode that let me leave my finished ice cream in the appliance while I was eating and entertaining, a very handy feature. It also had settings for different hardness levels and an option for both an automatic and manual mode. These fancy features come at a price though. This ice cream maker costs more than my KitchenAid mixer. Despite all of these excellent features, my ice cream batches weren't always consistent. My vanilla was overly soft despite being on the hardest setting, while my berry froyo was rather icy. As well, this ice cream maker is heavy and huge. It took up a solid half of my available counter space, and I have no idea where I would put it if it wasn't out on the counter. Pros: don't have to pre-freeze canister. Has a keep cool mode to keep ice cream cold. Different hardness levels. Cons: inconsistent batches of ice cream. Very expensive. Large size. Coming in number 1. Cuisinart ICE-70. Cuisinart seems to know their ice cream makers. The Cuisinart ICE-70 was a close runner-up to the ICE-21. It had a similarly easy-to-use design, with a few added bells and whistles such as a countdown timer and separate buttons for ice cream, gelato, and sorbet. However, the ice cream, even using the different modes, wasn't noticeably better than the other Cuisinart model, and the larger canister struggled to find an easy home in my freezer. For the significantly higher price point, I wanted significantly better ice cream or a significantly better ice cream making experience than the ICE-21. Pros: simple and easy to use design. Countdown timer. Additional options for making gelato or sorbet. Cons: expensive. Large canister is difficult to store inside a freezer.